Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar, Beyond the Basket, Tips for Spreading Holiday Cheer Year-Round. My name is Colleen Muzinski. I'm the Senior Programs Associate here at the Elks National Foundation with the Community Investments Program, which is a long-winded way to say I help your lodges get grants. And today what we're going to talk about is something very near and dear to my heart, which is the holidays and charitable impact during the holidays. So we're going to go through ways in which you can use your already existing holiday project to maybe kick off a year of giving, and then some tips on how to use our grants to effectively serve your community year-round rather than just at a very specific time of year. All right, so let's get started. First, I just want to go through our grant opportunities here at the CIP. You should all be pretty familiar with these, but it's always good to refresh. So we have Gratitude, Beacon, Promise, Freedom, and Impact Grant opportunities available to all lodges. The Gratitude grant up there in the yellow is our only grant tied to the per capita goal for giving, and that is $4.65 for 2016-17. And the lodge has an opportunity to use $2,000 for really any charitable project. It is the grant with our loosest guidelines and restrictions, and this year, if at least 15% of members donated at least $10 to the ENF last year, you qualify for a bonus $500. And we have in the blue the Beacon grant, and the Beacon grant is $2,000 available to any lodge, and what that means is that any lodge has the opportunity to apply regardless of meeting the per capita goal, and it's for a new ongoing Elks-led charitable project for the lodge. All right, and of course we have the Promise grant, which is $2,500 available to lodges for youth projects. Now, those, unfortunately, for this year are all gone. So we have only 500 available. They're first come, first serve, and unfortunately the 16-17 ones are gone. But lodges can start planning and trying for next year. Those applications go online on July 1st. We have our Freedom Grant opportunity, which is managed by the Elks National Veteran Service Commission, which is $182,000 grants for lodges to help veterans and or active duty military members. Those are also gone for this year. The Freedom Grant application for 16-17 closed on July 31st. But again, a great opportunity for lodges to do more for veterans in their community. And this 17-18 applications go online on July 1st. And these in the green are competitive. And finally, we have the Impact Grant, which is $2,500 to $10,000 grants to be used for Elks-led large-scale service projects. Right now, we're in the middle of reviewing all of our 16-17 applications. We got 172 this year, and we'll announce this 2017 recipients on October 31st. So that's a quick rundown of all of our grant opportunities, but right now we're going to dive into what it means to have a holiday grant project and some fast facts on what we see in our grant use and what we see lodges doing with our grants. So already, as of today, we have 362 approved grant projects that have that are for holiday activities in 16-17, and that's 32% of grant activities happening in November and December for holiday-related charitable projects. So most popular grant activities for holiday grant projects include holiday food baskets and then followed by children's Christmas parties. So I hope these stats go a long way to illustrate the popularity of these types of projects. 32% of grant activities we approved already are being used in these 2 short months. So saturated time of year in which everyone is ready to help, which is fantastic, but According to the United Way, nationally, the demand for volunteer opportunities at holidays often exceeds the need for volunteers. So that means we're throwing a lot of time, energy, money, and resources during this very narrow 2-month window. So as both of these slides illustrate, holiday projects are popular, not only for lodges to use grant funds for, but also for, other, not only fraternal organizations, nonprofit organizations, communities as a whole nationally. The demand for volunteer opportunities spikes during the holidays, and often there's, more demand than there is the need. So here's some things to think about when you think about, holiday grant projects and planning your holiday food basket or children's Christmas party. The holiday season is a time to reflect and give back. And most often this is through programs that target food and housing insecurity. But keep in mind those issues persist well after Christmas is over and the focus and attention is gone. Homelessness and hunger exist in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall, not just during November and December. It's possible to give too much at one time, as illustrated on the previous slide. Holiday grant projects are popular. It is possible to create holiday waste. And in the same way, holidays are popular times to donate time and money for everyone. So grant funds may not be needed at all. Like I had said, all of these issues that we attempt to tackle through a holiday Christmas basket program or through a children's Christmas party exist all year round. So just keep that in mind. So for example, we have Wichita, Texas, lodge number 1105 there. They do a great project during Christmas. They have a Fill the Bus program where the lodge fills the bus, a giant charter bus full of supplies, toys, and food to donate to families in need during Christmas. But think about what would happen if the lodge also did that during the summer? What if they did that twice a year and helped during a time in which the focus on homelessness and hunger is a little bit less? So easy ways to expand your holiday giving year-round. We'll go through even more easy ways in the next coming slides. So think about that. Rather than adding grant funds on top of what everyone is already doing at the holidays, why not harness the holiday spirit for after the holidays? But how do you do that? We're going to go through these 4 ways. So the first is use the holidays as a kickoff. Use your Christmas party, use your food basket program in December as a way to kick off giving for the rest of the year. Through your holiday projects, make connections that last with organizations you partner with or with those clients that you're serving. Do what you can to stand out. We'll give some tips on how to be unique in your grant projects and perhaps set yourself apart from not only what's going on during the holidays, but what's going on year-round. And, finally, make sure you educate your membership and the community on the needs that you are serving during the holidays so that it inspires and creates some sort of buy-in to help year-round. So a good example of this is Corrado, California, lodge number 2733. I'm so sorry I butchered that name, but this lodge uses a promise grant to run a year-round reading program for elementary school children, and the lodge meets with students every Saturday morning. So great year-round project that happens not only during the holidays, but on at least a monthly basis throughout the year. So, and I want to make a caveat here. I'm not saying that lodges shouldn't do Thanksgiving or Christmas programs, especially if your lodge has already found great success with an already existing holiday project. But grants offer an opportunity to do more at a different time of year, so this is a great way to take advantage. So when I said use the holidays as a kickoff, what did I mean? Simply put, this should be the start of giving, not the end. A lot of people are looking for those volunteer opportunities during the holidays, but what if you could get them excited about volunteering during the holidays and then provide opportunities for after? So it's not the end of the road for active charitable projects, but simply the beginning, and here are some basic, easy examples of this. Christmas basket projects can be monthly, they could be quarterly, they could be around different holidays like Flag Day or Easter or the beginning of school. Speaking of the beginning of school, an already existing toy drive can stretch into the summer for school supplies. Something that you're already doing at Christmas could easily be transferred to another time of year in which students and children need supplies. Social activities for seniors, youth, or people with disabilities can be run frequently on a smaller scale. So maybe you have a big blowout Christmas party for your local ARC, and then you do a Halloween party, then you do a summer party, and a spring party on a smaller scale. We all like to go big at the holidays, and that's fantastic, which what makes the holidays such a great time to kick off giving and spreading that spirit of giving throughout the year. So great example of this is on your screen right there. Those ladies are from the St. George Dixie, Utah Lodge number 1743, and they go to a soup kitchen monthly, and that includes Christmas. So this started with a Beacon grant. They were already going to the soup kitchen during the Christmas and holiday season. As you can see, this picture is from Christmas, but they also go back every month and they get a group of volunteers and they help serve those in need throughout the year. So great example, easy example of creating a project that serves those in need not only during the holidays, but kicks it off and serves throughout the year. So like I had mentioned, holidays are a great time to kick off, and holiday projects are also a great time to make connections. So partner on a Christmas project with a local organization, and then that's your foot in the door to ask what else is needed. What do I mean by personal connections? Simply put, it means invest in the relationships you start through a holiday project to carry you through the year. Much like we've framed Christmas as a kickoff, it could also be your foot in the door to organizations for a year-round service. So make those personal connections. Talk to those you're serving to find out when they need the most help and with what. Example of this is right there on your screen, Statesville, North Carolina, Lodge number 1823 continues monthly visits to the VA after Christmas, and personal touches like this adorable card to a veteran thanking him for his service keep volunteers and veterans coming back month after month. So, draw on your partner organizations for advice on future events, find out what time of year they get the least amount of support, and make real personal connections with those you are serving to create that buy-in for the rest of the year, and to create that buy-in with volunteers, with the organization, and with those you're serving for throughout the year. So examples of this, maybe a food pantry gets the least amount of donations during the month of June. If you find that out through your Christmas project, great opportunity to start a project just in the month of June. Or perhaps seniors in need find themselves without social activities in March and April most often. Maybe the Boys and Girls Club is out of ideas of what to do during a Teacher Institute report card or election day when schools are closed but parents are still at work. So there are these little opportunities that exist in little niches that the Lodge can step in and serve, and all you got to do is ask those that you're already serving at Christmas. So, and all this is pretty intuitive, right? Not reinventing the wheel here. This is easy stuff that you can just ask to get the ball rolling. All right. So now you had mentioned another great idea is to stand out. Find your lodge's niche and be creative so that you can extend your holiday project throughout the year. Harness supportive membership in the community and encourage everyone to think outside the holiday box by standing out. So Christmas in July or another time of year, it's an easy way to think about extending the holiday spirit literally during a completely opposite time of year. If other community organizations already have back to school events, for example, don't compete for resources by having your own. If you're thinking about different times or ways to serve those in need outside of the holidays, and you realize maybe back to school is a great time to do that, but then you think about how the Kiwanis already has a backpack program, well, don't do another backpack program, right? Think of other ways you can serve those children in need during back to school. Perhaps backpacks are already taken care of, but new shoes aren't. Great opportunity for the Lodge to step in. You want to take into account members' schedules, time, and talent. So pool talent, resources, and schedules to find a project that the membership is passionate about and that everyone has time for. So for example, maybe no one is around during the month of July. Everyone is busy during September. So think about ways and times of year that maybe work for everyone, and then use that as your jumping off point. Speaking of finding your niche and not repeating or overlapping services and taking into account your member schedules, time, and talents, a great example of this is Kingman, Arizona, lodge number 468. They have a peanut butter ball, which is a funny name and a really really creative way to fill a need in their community. So with the gratitude grant, the lodge donates peanut butter to a local food pantry because it is the least donated yet most coveted item. And the lodge makes multiple donations and holds fundraisers throughout the year for this nutty niche. So that's kind of a great, really clear example of finding a niche and then making it a theme for activities and service opportunities throughout the year. Caveat, you cannot use grants to hold fundraisers, but of course donations qualify, like this donation of a pallet of peanut butter, and again, they use it as a kicking off point to serve throughout the year. So the last bullet up there is seasons of service schedule, and what I mean by that is research seasons of service days. So for example, did you know that September is Hunger Action Month, or that November 19th is National Family Service Day? Tie in projects with these and other awareness days. And Elks scholars are going to be doing just that in November, actually, which I'll talk about in the next slide. But, for example, today is National Coffee Day. I didn't know. I had no idea that September 29th was National Coffee Day, but there's always a day for something every day, right? And that might be a good kickoff and a good way to stand out. So simply Google seasons of service days, and the first thing that pops up from Points of Light and the YSA organization will give you a list. It'll give you a list of days and of months that mean something to certain organizations or certain groups of people and certain action items. Again, great way to kind of tie in a service project. So speaking of National Family Volunteer Day, that is November 19th, and our Elks scholars are taking full advantage of November 19th being Family Day of Service by engaging with their Elks family. So as you can see by that logo, the Elks Scholar Service Days are over that weekend, November 18th through 20th. And what we're doing here at the ENF is we're inviting Elks scholars to serve together nationwide in honor of National Family Volunteer Day. And we're hoping that scholars across the country take advantage of that opportunity by using that day to serve with their local lodge. So that link that I was talking about Googling, I forgot I put it right there for you. So learn more about official seasons of service months, weeks, and days at that web address, and learn more about the Elks Scholar Service Days at elks.org/scholars. Great opportunity to get scholars into the lodge and involved with your charitable projects. I know that we're almost up on October, so it's coming like a freight train, but our legacy scholars have the obligation to serve at least once with the lodge in order to get their money for their scholarship. So what a great opportunity then to invite them on November 19th to help out at the lodge. So again, those links are very helpful. We're really excited for our first annual Elks Scholar Service Days in conjunction with our National Family Volunteer Day. So all right. And finally, we have Educate Everyone. I hope I educated you a little bit on our opportunities and our Scholar Day of Service. And that's your job and your opportunity to educate everyone and inspire others to serve year-round through your holiday project or after. So a great idea is, demonstrate to volunteers in your membership that needs exist beyond the holidays. Share stories of impact from holiday events to get buy-in and inspire others to serve outside of the holidays, and remind others that volunteering time is a good feeling, that can last beyond that one-time children's Christmas party, that can last beyond assembling baskets during Thanksgiving. Holiday events can be the time to start tackling a community need year-round and taking simple steps to educate others on how to help and why to help after the tinsel comes down will grow your volunteer base. So provide data on your holiday cause. So if you're helping tackle hunger in your community, let people know how many people in your community are hungry year-round. Use your partner organizations that we already talked about making connections with to illustrate that year-round need. Share personal stories of impact from holiday events. There's nothing like, putting up a thank you card from a child from your Christmas project, on the Lodge bulletin board to show how much of an impact you're making, and then use that as an illustration that you could be making this impact year-round. And like I said, it feels good to volunteer, right? That is a major reason why, myself included, many Elks join their local lodge, right? To get out there in their community and to make a real impact. So remind people of how good that feels, and send them personal invitations for upcoming events throughout the year. Right there on the screen we have Tempe, Arizona Lodge number 2251, who uses their gratitude grant to make critical donations of supplies and time to a community action garden that provides food to local food pantries. So there they are unloading their wheelbarrows just in time for harvest season. They make those donations and those donations of time throughout the year. And again, feels good to donate. It feels good to donate. Feels even better to volunteer time. So use what you already do at the holidays to inspire others to serve year-round. All right, I've given you a lot of action items. I've given you a lot of tips on things to do, and it seems a little overwhelming, but I promise it's not. And, one thing I definitely want you to do is apply for a grant. Use CIP grants to fund projects outside of the holiday season. I can't stress it enough. The Beacon Grant was built to help lodges do more, and it's a great opportunity for your lodge to think about ways to serve beyond November and December. A great example of this is Brownsville, Texas, lodge number 2876. As you can notice by the number, brand new lodge that started last year, and they used their very first Beacon Grant to hold a stand down in September. And with 1 year of grants under their belt, they are ready to build upon their success and run projects throughout the year. And don't worry if you already used the Beacon Grant for something. Think about using the Gratitude, Promise, or Freedom Grant opportunities we talked about before, or go big with an Impact Grant. Impact Grants were also built to help lodges do more on a large scale. So if you think about things you already do at the holiday season, who you already help at the holiday season, and how, think about what $10,000 could do stretching over the year. That is a perfect start to an Impact Grant project. All right, so I don't know about you, but I am ready for a cup of cocoa. I am excited about the holidays, and I'm excited to see what lodges do with our CIP grants beyond the holidays. So if you're thinking about filling out that Beacon or Gratitude grant application right now, think about ways that you can help throughout the year. Think about what we already talked about. Think about how a lot of time and energy and talent and support is already being poured into November and December by not only lodges, but by other community organizations. And so think about how much of that is going in on those 2 months and how 10 other months of the year there's not that focus and attention on people in need. And use grants for that opportunity to fill those needs beyond the holidays. If you need help with any of this, visit our CIP Resources page at enf.elks.org/CIP Resources. And as always, if you have questions, need some guidance, call our office, send us an email. We're happy to help. So this concludes our Beyond the Basket webinar. Again, please use that contact information on the screen to reach out and ask questions. And on our CIP Resources website, we also have a PDF version of this of this webinar if you'd like to use it and print it out, or another copy of those links are up there too for the Family Service Days. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all the fantastic holiday projects, but especially all the projects that happen after November and December with our CIP grants. So thanks for taking the time today, and have a great rest of your day.